And if it's okay, I can share a little poem with you that I'm thinking of as I talk about this,
Ah,
which
don't let me
is
stop you.
Rainer Maria Rilke, great German poet. And it was, again, talking about like duty and calling. It says, one day a man stands up during supper and walks outside and keeps walking because of a church that stands somewhere in the east. And his children say blessings on him as if he was dead. And another man stays in the house and dies there, inside the dishes and inside the glasses, so that his children have to go far out into the world towards that same church which he forgot. And that is a very kind of classic dilemma. I would argue it's a dilemma for everyone finding purpose these days. When Rilke wrote it, it was perhaps more for the masculine part of the psyche or for men at that time. But that notion of, do I do what I'm supposed to do, or do I do what I'm called to do? And do I do what feels safe, or do I do what feels risky? And all of and it's a dilemma. And I'm sure most people, I know I've been there. I would say both of my parents were probably workaholics. I was brought up by people paid to look after me a lot of the time when they were both on stage when I was a youngster. So I've felt the pain of someone who went to their church and left the family. And I've also been that person who found a purpose and was then, traveling abroad to do important leadership work during the week and getting invited to the World Economic Forum and feeling quite important for a while. And knowing that my kids were then left at home. So that thing of like duty and soul and how to marry the two most effectively. I mean, I think they're older now, but I've found a much more effective way of doing it now, of finding the balance. But initially, coming back to our sort of original notion of purpose causes problems in people's lives. It is not an easy path to follow because it will call us away from those we love. It will call us away from family or people of origin. It will cause dilemmas. And the other side of it, if we don't, we might end up feeling we're dying there, in the small town we grew up in without ever having explored the world, having never taken a risk. So these are the kind of things, that would be explored in some of the early men's work that I was involved in. Encourage all the men and the women listening to do work that may be single gender if you feel called to it for a certain point, because it will inform you in a different way and get to ask questions and potentially be more real and feel more authentic in some of those circles than you can with your friends in the coffee shop or the pub or the dance where you might meet. Yeah.
I'm just reflecting on what you just said. I've never heard those words in a sentence quite like that before. Purpose causes problems. I think there's a bumper sticker in that of some kind.